3.7. Next, 3.7. Contributions of non-current assets at fair value. You already know what non-current assets are. It can be tables, can be chairs, can be a van, a computer, a laptop. At fair value, it means that, for example, this chair that I'm holding on to here, when we bought it brand new, it can be $1,000. But then after 2 weeks use, it can be, I don't know, 500 possibly, because it's been used. So how do I know it's 500? Maybe because of the same model of chair out there in the market of the same use of or the same old years old or use old. It's being sold at the same price, $500. So I'm doing the same thing. We're selling this chair at $500. So that's fair value. The value that the whole market is agreeing on. Okay. Not our decision to make it, but the market is making that decision on the value of these non-current assets. So the contributions means the owner's contribution to the business. So all of these tables and chairs that you're seeing here, for example, are from the owners. So we start up this business without any tables, any chairs, any furniture. And the owner happens to have extra pair of chairs and tables at home, and they decided to contribute all of those furnitures to the business and make it the business assets. That's the contribution of non-current asset. But obviously when they contribute their stuff to the business, it's not brand new, right? They've already been used. So we can't record all of these assets at the brand new value when they first was bought. We have to record them at the fair value. Okay, so the entries are actually very simple. You know that the owner is putting in non-current asset, right? So let's just say a van of $30,000, right? A van of $30,000 brand new when it was first bought. But the fair value at the time that the owner is contributing this van to the business is probably only $15,000. And the owner decided to contribute this van to the business and make it a business van instead of the owner's van. And what is the account for the owner? Capital. Right? The owner is contributing to the business. So the actual van is going from the owner, right, and into the van account. So originally the van business doesn't have any van, and now it has a van account, right? So the owner is contributing a van into the business. Again, same rules apply. Same rule applies. This is debit because the value of this van is going into the van account of the business, and it's going from the capital, which is the owner. So it goes out of the owner, therefore the owner would be credit, and it goes into van of the business, therefore debit. So the general entries would be van, would be on debit, or whatever non-current asset the question is asking, or the question is mentioning. The van would be debit and the owner would be credit. The question is, or the most common mistake students often make is they don't know what figure to put in here. They often put the first figure they see, but the actual fair value is 15,000. So instead of 30,000, the figures here must be 15,000. Okay, so don't make that mistake. Receipts from accounts receivable and payments to accounts payable, I believe I already explained it in the first chapter of this topic, so I will leave that.